There's a difference between visibility and credibility. If you write nothing else down today, write that down. There is a difference between visibility and credibility. There are plenty of coaches in existence who get multiple millions of dollars of results for their clients that you and I have never heard of. The credibility doesn't lie in the fact that we know them. The credibility lies in the results. The credibility lies in their experience. You've been through your trauma or transition already. You've already navigated it. Good evening. Welcome, my winners and goal-getters, to another episode of the Getting the Win Show. I am your host, Melissa T, Procrastination Bully. Thank you so much for tuning in. And my mission with this show, in case this is your first time, is to help women who've navigated a trauma or transition find healing through writing and publishing their first book. So in today's episode, I'm going over the top reasons why you have told yourself you cannot do it or should not do it. In other words, I'm gonna flip it and let you know the reasons why you can and should, okay? I'm going over all the obstacles that you have told yourself that you've experienced in the past, because sometimes the beliefs we have are a direct result of our experiences. And then I'm going to help you kind of move the needle forward in the direction of getting that story done and explain to you why it's possible. Okay. So the first order of business, number one, if you're someone that has lived a lot of life at this point and you've either felt in your gut that you should write a book or someone has told you that you should, then the first pain point you might be telling yourself, or the first belief you might be telling yourself is, where do I even start? And I get it. Trust me, I get it. So here are 3 questions you can ask yourself, with possibly a bonus 4th one that you can use to narrow down what you should write about, where you should start. Okay. So number 1, what's the thing you're asked the most frequently by everyone in your life? What do people tend to come to you to seek counsel for? What do they normally get your advice for? What is your top of mind expertise, right? Another question you can ask yourself is, what is the topic that means the most to you? Out of all your life experiences, what is the topic or the experience that has meant the most to you, that has had the greatest impact on your life? That's number 2. Number 3, what area of expertise or experience in your life can help you generate revenue the fastest? Because if it can get you a return on investment, it's definitely worth exploring, right? And then lastly, this is that bonus one. What is something you want to grow in? What is something you want to learn more about? Because one of the greatest and stickiest ways for us to be able to fully assimilate some information is to teach it to someone else. It's one thing if we research it for our own knowledge, but when we have to teach it to somebody else, we force ourselves to simplify the information to ensure that other people can learn it, right? So you can use any one of those 4 or all 4 of those questions. What is the thing that is most frequently asked of me? What is the experience that has been the most impactful to me? What is the area of expertise that can help me generate revenue the fastest? What can I monetize the fastest? And what is something that I want to learn more about? What is something that I want to increase my knowledge in? Any one of those can point you in the direction of what you should write your book about based on your experiences and what you want to increase your knowledge in. Okay. So all of that handles the first limit, the first challenge that you might be experiencing. Like, okay, what should I write about? So that handles that one. The next one, this applies to you if yours is a trauma. If it's a transition, this one may not necessarily apply. But when it comes to a trauma, your challenge might be, well, I don't want to have to relive this thing. Like, writing about this is going to force me to have to go back through it. Like, think about the experiences I had. Think about the person or persons, plural, that hurt me. So here's my answer to that one. Reframe it to a position of service. When you're focusing on the idea of reliving the trauma, then that's precisely what you will end up doing. But if you tell yourself that you're coming back to this to revisit it, not relive it, to revisit it from a place of service, because now you're plucking the most important parts of that experience for use to teach other people the key lessons. That primes your mind to look at it a completely different way. If you're diving in head first, absolutely, you're going to end up fully reliving the thing because you haven't primed your mind with a specific objective. When you give yourself the purpose that you're diving into this to pull the specific lessons out, to create a survival guide for someone else, it narrows your focus in the experience. You're telling your subconscious mind, hey, listen, I'm not staying here forever. I'm looking for something specific out of here. Your subconscious mind and your reticular activating system, that's the part of your mind that filters your focus. Those two parts of your mind now know what to look for from your trauma. That way you don't end up stuck there again. Okay? So that's what you do. You approach it from a place of one, service, and two, looking specifically for the lessons. Because once you tell your reticular activating system what to look for, it's going to look for it. Think about the last time you told yourself you wanted something. Didn't you find it weird that all of a sudden you started seeing more of it when you went out and about? Like a perfect example is like a car. Maybe you've had a goal car that you wanted to buy or something like that. All of a sudden, when you venture out, you started seeing more people driving that car than you've ever seen before. Why? Because you primed your reticular activating system. You told your mind that you wanted it. So your mind was like, okay, now I'm focused on this thing. Now we're paying more attention. You're seeing more of it. It's the same thing as it relates to the trauma that you're looking to write about. When you think of it from a place of service, you're now specifically looking for the lessons, the things not to do, the things to look out for, the language that you may not have had at the time that you have now. Now you're giving your mind a frame of reference when you go back to it. So then you're revisiting it and not just reliving it. Okay. The next thing that could be a challenge for you, something you perhaps told yourself or perhaps wondered about is, well, me working on this book seems kind of selfish. I have a spouse, I have kids, and maybe you don't have a spouse, maybe you're a single parent. You know, I have my kids to be mindful of. I've got my job, I've got my side hustle. I'm super busy. Like working on this feels like a luxury. Like I don't have time to be pursuing this. So I'm going to approach that from 2 points. Okay. One, talking about the selfish thing, to which I'll repeat what I mentioned before about coming to it from a place of service. If you view this book as a means to help someone else or help other people, plural, then that gives you a better filter. You're not just telling your story for the purposes of sharing it. There are some coaches that'll tell you sharing your story just for the sake of sharing it, nobody cares. When you share it from the perspective of service, like this experience in my life taught me these lessons that you can learn, that's when your story becomes valuable for other people. So then it's not a selfish endeavor. At that point, it's a service endeavor. And it's a legacy endeavor, because when you're teaching lessons from your own life, other people are going to be able to apply that to improve their lives. That's a domino effect that you can't buy. So that makes your book that much more worth creating. It creates a sense of urgency for you to do it as well, because we can't count our days. We don't know how long we have here. So if you have a lesson in you that you know is valuable and will benefit others, there is no greater time than now to do it. So that tackles the selfish thing, right? This brings me to that next pain point, which is, I don't have time for this. This is a time poverty thing, okay? Time poverty is a very common thing, particularly when you're super busy already. The beautiful thing about the digital age we live in now, is that book creation doesn't have to just be you typing on a keyboard. If that's what you prefer, then by all means, carve out a space of 10 minutes a day if you need to. During my book boot camp, I offer my students 30 minutes a day. You don't need more than that. 30 minutes a day typing. You can have your book done within a month. 30 minutes a day voice recording, which is the cheat code, you can have your book done in as little as 2 weeks if all you have is 30 minutes a day. When you voice record, that opens up a ton of options for you, because if you're somebody that commutes to work, you can use that commute time to record in your car. If you on a bus or a train or whatever, sure, people might look at you like you're crazy, but that's all right. Most of us have Bluetooth earbuds, right? When we're on a phone call, other people see that and they're wondering if you're talking to yourself or if you're on a call with somebody. The same could be true for you recording your book. You're having to sit there anyway. Use that time to voice record. And by the way, if you're wondering how would you start that? What would you use to kind of map out the content that you're recording? Don't worry, I got you. Put that in the comments below this video, or if you're listening on audio, put that in the comments on the platform. Like, let me know and I will shoot you my system that I use to help people map out their ideas and create an outline. And the exercise takes no more than 30 minutes to do. I teach them what's called a word web. It's the same thing as a mind map, but I walk you through the word web and then how to convert that word web into an outline that's easy to follow. Because once you create the outline, that's your roadmap in terms of your book. Then you know exactly what you're recording about. Okay. So if you want that resource, drop a comment below and I'll make sure to email it to you. All right. Or provide you a link for it. Okay. So far we've covered, I don't know what to talk about or write about. We've covered the time issue. I don't have time for this. We've covered this might be a selfish endeavor sort of thing. And I also covered the reliving versus revisiting the trauma. Here's the fifth one that I want you to think about, to consider in terms of a challenge that you might be facing or a limiting belief that you've carried. Okay. You might be thinking, well, nobody's going to care. Okay. Like, even if I tell my story, even if I map this out and follow your system, yada, 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 who's going to read my book? Who's going to care? Anybody that is going through what you're going through right now, or what you have gone through, correction, they're going to care. Because as E.T. and the guys always point out, you don't have to be a 10 to lead a 1. All you have to be is a 2. You don't have to be a 10 to lead a 4 or a 5. You just need to be a 6. You just have to be one chapter, one step ahead of the person that you're helping. And if you're somebody who's spiritually minded, I'll be honest with you, I'm a Christian, if you're watching this for the first time. And in our book, in our one text that we follow, it teaches us that our experiences aren't just for us. We're meant to use the experiences that we go through to then give hope to the others that are behind us and going through the thing in present tense. So who's going to care about your book? The person who's going through what you've already gone through. The person who's a few steps behind you. The person who's still stuck with all the questions that you have now found answers for, that you have now met helpful people to resolve. People that you can then point those people to, those readers to. Okay? All of this is valuable. All of this is valuable. And your particular vibe, your particular frequency, the way that you say a thing is exactly what they need. And I'll share with you an example of this. A good friend of mine who's also kind of a collaborator with me on my projects, she's a coach herself and she's around several coaches of all different behavior styles. And I can promise you, it wasn't until like the last week or so that she finally encountered a coach that finally got through to her. Similar behavior style to some of the other coaches that she's encountered. Very direct, very quick to the point, uses catchphrases that are very resonant. But it wasn't until this particular guy that she encountered within the last week or so And he spoke to her in a way that resonated with her, like broke through all of the other noise, every book she's ever read, every challenge she's ever participated in. This one dude. And he's not particularly famous. So this speaks to a bonus belief, by the way. If you're saying, well, even if I write a book, what makes me credible? Your experience is your expertise. Your experience, your personal lessons that you've learned gives you your credibility. No different than anybody else. The only difference between you and somebody who's a New York Times bestselling author is visibility, which can be grown. Like that can be cultivated for you. That's a process. But the value of your book in terms of credibility comes from you yourself, your experience. There's a difference between visibility and credibility. If you write nothing else down today, write that down. There is a difference between visibility and credibility. There are plenty of coaches in existence who get multiple millions of dollars of results for their clients that you and I have never heard of. The credibility doesn't lie in the fact that we know them. The credibility lies in the results. The credibility lies in their experience. You've been through your trauma or transition already. You've already navigated it. You've already learned the lessons. You've already gained the language you needed to gain. You've already met the people you needed to meet to come out on the other side, and can refer other people who are in your situation to the folks that helped you, to the organizations you're now a part of, to the resources that you got to learn. Your experience is your expertise. Your experience is your credibility. That's what is going to make someone care. You're a chapter ahead of them, and they need what you know. The world needs what you know. So if all of this makes sense to you, this sounds like something that you want to get started on, by all means, I have my author activation weekend coming up in April. It's the last weekend in April, April 23rd to April 26th here in 2026. We are going to the beautiful rolling hills and mountains of Tennessee, and we are setting aside these 4 days to invest in ourselves. And all the ladies that are making the investment, I'm walking them through my repeatable system, my repeatable framework to get their books done. And yes, there is some pre-work before anyone arrives on site, because I want to make sure you're already a step ahead by the time you get there, okay? But I am walking you through my repeatable system so you can have the 4 days to just write, to record your voice, record your message, record your lessons, record your experiences. And don't worry, I'm giving you the mind map before you start recording. That way you're not flailing for ideas or flailing for topics to write about. I'm giving you the framework and the roadmap before you ever get there, so that by the time you get there, you're just recording. You're just building out your book. And by the end of the day on Sunday, you will have a completed manuscript on your laptop. That is the promise I can give you. 4 straight days with large blocks of recording time where you're just building out your book. And not only that, you will learn how to revisit and not relive the trauma that you're writing about or the transition. You'll also learn the importance of self-awareness and how to powerfully reframe your experience in a way that will serve the people you plan to write for. That way you're not just all up in the trauma and getting lost in it. You'll get to reframe the experience in a way that will feed your resilience, so you can come out of the other side of the experience that much stronger, with even greater language to serve your readers. And I won't leave you with just your manuscript, okay? Like, you're getting the marketing blueprint as well. That way you know exactly what to do with your rough draft once it's completed. Like, okay, I have a book, now what? I got you, okay? So go to myauthorweekend.com to sign up and to learn more about what's coming up at the end of April, okay? And again, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, if you want the framework to get clear on what to write about, like you want that roadmap, drop a comment below, let me know that, and I'll get you I'll get you the roadmap that I use and teach my students, okay? This week's episode was a brief one. As you can see, it's just me and you today. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And hey, if you need a deeper dive into any of these, because some of these challenges may resonate with you, let me know that in the comments as well. I'm glad to walk you through the ways around it. I'm glad to walk you through the solutions, okay? And again, the website is myauthorweekend.com if you want to sign up for that. 4 concentrated days where we focus on just getting your book done. It is an author sprint. Perhaps that's what you need. Maybe the 30 minutes a day is a little too slow for you. Maybe you need to focus a bit more. I got you. This is an author sprint. This is the author sprint that you're looking for. Okay? So once again, that website is myauthorweekend.com. Make sure you sign up there, and I'm encouraging you to sign up for the VIP option, because with that, you can bring one other person for free. Bring your partner, bring your bestie, bring a business partner, bring somebody else you know that has been saying that they have a book in them as well, and they should write a book and whatever, and the two of you keep saying someday. Listen to me clearly. Someday is a lie. April 23rd, on the other hand, is the beginning of the truth. So go to myauthorweekend.com, take a look at that VIP option, and I'll see you there. In the meantime and between time,